WIldcats Revenge is a 140-foot-tall Rocky Mountain construction hybrid coaster that opened on June 2, 2023 at Hersheypark in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The ride is a hybrid conversion of the former GCI wooden coaster called Wildcat. Wildcat originally opened back in 1996 and was GCI's first ground-up roller coaster. Wildcat was initially well-received. However, it gained a negative reputation for its increasing roughness over the years. By 2010, the ride's reputation really took a dive and ridership was declining. Wildcat closed for a major refurbishment in July 2022 because Rocky Mountain Construction was hired to convert the ride into a hybrid coaster, which would keep some of the original wooden support structure and adding a steel track featuring RMC's iBox track technology. The ride is 3,510 feet long, which is over 300 feet longer than the original Wildcat. It also features a 135-foot drop at an 82-degree angle, speeds of up to 62 miles per hour, 4 inversions, and lots of airtime. As the train leaves the station, you are immediately thrown into a few drops and hills that provide some pretty fun airtime as well as lateral forces. You then bank up and turn to the right, which brings you into the lift hill. After the third train has made its way into the offload, the chain lift picks up speed and the train ascends the 140-foot-tall truss structure. Once at the top, the train barrels down the 82-degree drop and hits max speeds of 62 miles per hour. The drop is pretty normal for an RMC, nothing too crazy, but still very good. Then you enter the world's tallest underflip, where I gotta say I was very surprised at how much fun this element was. It's very whippy in the front rows of the train, and in the back you get some pretty decent hang time. After exiting the underflip, you enter a pretty big airtime hill that provides the strongest moment of ejector on the ride. Then before going into the first of 2 wave turns, you rise up into an off-axis airtime pop and then turn into the wave turn the opposite way. Both these moments give some pretty good floater airtime. Then you drop under the lift and into an oddly shaped 0G stall that has great hang time and a very whippy exit. After the stall, you hit the second and best wave turn. This is probably the strongest wave turn I've ever experienced, as it gives a sharp pop of ejector airtime. Next, the train hauls into a double down, but it's not any normal double down. As you go down, it turns with no banking to the left, providing some awesome laterals mixed with airtime. Then the train enters the first of 2 0G rolls. The first is probably the best due to the pacing the train has going through it. Exiting out of the first 0G roll, you turn and rise into an overbank that exits into the second 0G roll. While this one may not be as good as the first, it's still a great element. The finale is an off-axis airtime hill with an insane pop of ejector, followed by a twisted airtime hill into the brakes. These 2 hills are filled with airtime and laterals, and that kind of describes the whole ride. While many RMCs do have airtime and laterals, WIldcats Revenge combines the 2 into a lot of different elements, making the airtime almost feel stronger. WIldcats Revenge is definitely one of my favorite RMCs because it's not repetitive and is more of a complete ride than a lot of RMCs out there. It has the airtime of rides like Steel Vengeance and Airy Force 1, along with the inversions of rides like Untamed. And the laterals are just as strong on this coaster as its airtime. This is definitely a top-tier RMC in America, and I highly suggest you get a ride on it if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.